Hey YouTube, it's Nicole Moore coming to you from my car. So we're gonna talk about Black Ink Crew Chicago, baby. It's the next day, and you got Four and Charmaine is in the shop already, and they're talking. But you see Junior walk in as the guy is replacing the window to the door. So Junior comes in and they're all talking, and he's like, "Oh, so I see he replaced the window." And Four is like, "Well, it's getting done. That's all that matters." So that leads me to think that one of the two of them put their money together and fixed it, or to show like VH1 fixed it for them or whatever. So Ryan comes in and Ryan's talking to them, and Four wasn't sure if Ryan knew what had happened, so he was going to fill him in, but Junior already did that. And Ryan and Charmaine was trying to get, Four and Charmaine was trying to get Ryan to understand, like, hey, listen, maybe it's time for you to have a conversation with Van and just to kind of talk to him. And Ryan still feels like he don't have to talk to Van at all. He doesn't owe Van anything. He don't need to. They don't need to chop it up for any reasons, not at all. And now he's saying that Van is no longer welcome in the shop. So Charmaine's point was, you changed the lock, so he broke in. Like, it was okay. It's not okay. That's not where, they don't do that nowhere else but at Black Ink Crew Chicago. I've never seen that happen. I've never seen anyone. And if it has happened, you've seen him or her in the back of a police car, like, right afterwards. So, that was crazy. So Ryan then announces that he's taking Junior with him to the Philadelphia Tattoo Convention, because in his mind, he's saying Junior's the only one that kind of has his back. Junior's the only one that's really here for him right now. So, okay. So that happens. We see that they get to the convention or whatever, and they're doing some tattooing, and everything is cool. Then Cobra pops up out of nowhere. So Cobra happens to be there too when she's tattooing with another group. So they chop it up for a little bit. First, Vine was like, "Hey, listen, are we good? Like, what's up? Last time I saw you, you was busting up my place. What's up?" So she was like, "No, we're cool." And apparently the reason why she's dropping it and letting it go or whatever is because Ryan did a very human thing and called her when her father died. It was within the month, because she was really tearing up and it was really still affecting her, and she was bothered by it. And she was touched that he had reached out to make sure that she was okay and everything. So that was nice. Ryan is a very nice, kind-hearted person, which unfortunately is what makes people, how do you say it? It's what makes people take him for granted and take his kindness for his weakness, and just rolls all over him and does whatever they want. And that's what's been going on. So anyway, so that was nice. So they're cool now. They chopped it up. It's all good. He actually asks her what she's doing now, and she tells him, she's with another tattoo outfit or whatever, and they she's cool with them. But then he says, "Well, you should come back to the shop. Like, if you're not doing anything, and if you want, and if it's cool with you, you can come back to the shop." So she was like, "I don't know, what's up with the rest of them people? I gotta think on it or whatever." So back at the shop, you got Danielle and Van pops up. Oh yeah, you got Danielle and Van pop up at 9 Mag, because obviously while the cat's away, the mice will play, and Ryan is not there. So they just pop up and they kicking it like old school, old times, and they're just having a good old time, just kicking it up like this is their spot, this is just what they do, blah blah blah. So we also see that Don and Ashley are in church, and Ashley thought it would be a good idea for them to talk to the pastor to get a little bit of counseling in. And so they do, and the pastor asked them what's the issue, and she said, "Oh, well, we have a little bit of an anger issue." And he said, "Well, on whose part?" And Ashley hesitated, but Don was able to provide the truth, and it is both of them. They both have anger issues. They both have stuff that they need to work on. So basically, Ashley was then trying to kind of like make it like it was more him than it was her. And she was honest in saying that, she pushes his buttons, she kind of pushes him, and then he reacts. And he was honest in saying, I don't want to have this anger issue. I really don't. And as a matter of fact, it really ruined my entire life. Like, my life would be different right now if I wasn't such a hothead, if I didn't have this problem. So they find out during some more questions and conversations or whatever, they find out that Don is not a Christian. He doesn't have a denomination. He's not sure if he is spiritual or if he believes in a religion, because he didn't grow up in a church. He never been to a church, and he doesn't really know anything about that life. And here goes Ashley, because when I'm not even going to go there because I don't even want to get the comments. But so Ashley basically, was like, ugh, this is the first time I'm hearing of this, Pastor, does it work when one believes in God and the other one doesn't, is on the fence about it or indecisive about it? I mean, how does that work? Does it typically work? And the pastor is just looking like, y'all never had this conversation. I was looking at the same thing too. I was like, y'all never had this conversation? Like, y'all got kids, you don't live together, you just now getting married, and God never came up. Now, Don said in his confessional that Ashley gets up every day and she goes every Sunday and goes to church, and he does not join. He hasn't gone. She's never, obviously has not asked him to go, has not mentioned, hey, what you doing this Sunday when the pastor's having family and friends day? Nothing popped up. Vacation Bibles, nothing popped up. No functions at the church that she was never like. So I was, wow. That's big. I mean, that's just one of those things that you discuss, like children. Where you're going to raise them, how you're going to raise them. You know what I mean? Like, those are things that you discuss before you get married. So, whatever. But they worked it out. Pastor, they worked it out. Don decided that he was going to, if that's something that was important to her, he would meet her halfway with it and work on some things. So, at least Don is willing to try to work on some things. But what I needed them to get out there and needed them to really talk about was the fact that she thinks she's just going to be able to up and quit her job and just put all that pressure of taking care of 4 people onto him on his assistant's salary. So, yeah, we need to discuss that at some point, because that's where the stress is coming from, and it's carrying over into everything else. So then we get back to the shop, and Van, Danielle, Charmaine, and 4 are still at, they're back at the shop or whatever. I guess it's another day or whatever, because while they're there and they're toasting, I don't know what they're toasting, but it looks like they're celebrating. Oh, wait, no, before we even get to that, before we even get to that, the Spanish girl, Danielle's replacement, I cannot remember her name. I apologize. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it was Danielle's replacement. And so when Van and Danielle walk through, Ford's replacement as a receptionist is trying to carry out what her manager told her to do when he left. And he said he didn't want them in there. Like, they are not welcome to be there when he's not there. So she's doing what she's supposed to do as instructed by her manager. She's like, listen, you guys are not supposed to be here. And they are so disrespectful. What you mean we're not supposed to be here? We 9 back. You not 9 back. We 9 back, but you not. And Danielle takes it that extra step, telling her to take out the trash, on her way out and all this stuff. So baby girl was like, oh no, y'all not gonna keep disrespecting me. And talking about her cat, she had on some sort of cat. Child, nobody care about that little cat thing. You ain't gonna motherfucking be talking about me and talking to me like you crazy. You lost your mind. Like, we still in Chicago. Everybody that live here got some sort of hood in them and can pull it out when needed. So you need to back up. So anyway, she was like, nah, this is just, oh, so you want me to take the trash out? So you work here? Okay. So she goes and she dumps the trash out on the floor. She's like, here you go. There's some work for you to do. Get the work. And she walks out and she's like, I quit. And I'm like, you ain't really have to do all that for them. You could have just called Ryan and was like, listen, this is what's going on in your shop. I don't want you to think that I have had anything to do with it, but I'm going to go home now. And you're going to pay me for my full day because you got these ratchet motherfuckers coming through here like it's nothing. I got to deal with them while you're out of town. So, yeah. But I'm going to go home and I want all 8 hours of my pay. Thanks. Appreciate it. So, All right, so then that happened. So I guess it's the next day or whatever, because then they're back at the shop again and they celebrating something this time. They're talking like, yeah, this is Nine Mag, this we here, the original crew, and blah 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 blah. So how about Ryan Jr. and Cobra walks in while they kicking it, and champagning it up and toasting and having the good life, you know. So here goes Charmaine. Oh no. You got her up in here. She owed me $250 for my glasses. She stole my glasses, Ryan. She owed me $250. Blah, 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 blah. I ain't never see Charmaine that crunk to fight somebody. I've always seen her crunk just to be crunk, but when it, like having a good time type of thing. So they wind up having a little scuffle. You know, you got a whole bunch of people that's in between them. So I ain't really see nothing get off, but I did see Charmaine kind of throwing some bowls out there. I don't know if anything connected or landed, but all I needed to, like, my thing is this: if there was nobody there, I really feel like Cobra would have took it. Like she would have mollywopped Charmaine across that floor. It would have been a mess. It would have been a sight to see. But anyway, so Ryan basically was just like, why y'all here? And nobody could really answer that question for him. Nobody really said anything. Nobody really had much to say. So I believe that's where it ended. Oh, yeah, we get, Four has a little concert, and he's finishing up his show. His girlfriend Nikki is there, and he's finishing up his show. And this girl comes up to him while Nikki's talking to somebody else. This girl comes up to him, and she seemed like she's flirting a little bit. Like, all right, she's cute and everything, and you know, I guess, all right, that's what happens. You know, he's cute, she's cute. It happens. Then all of a sudden, she busts out like, "I'm your cousin." Like, maybe first it was like, yeah, maybe I could. Oh, I know you a tattoo and everything. Maybe I'll come through and get a tattoo or whatever. But it still sounded real flirty. So I was confused. And I'm going to tell you why I was confused. Because then she hit him with the "I'm your cousin" thing. And then Nikki came over and they repeated it again. "Oh yeah, I'm your cousin." And then Don came over and Don was like, "Yeah, what's going on here?" "I don't know, girl. She's saying she's my cousin." And Nikki went into investigative, I haven't quite locked down my man mode, and was just like asking all types of questions like, "Oh no, I need to know who you are if you plan to be around my man, and you better have some DNA connection, because this is not gonna work if not." So she went into super investigative, crazy, "I'll kill you in your sleep" kind of mode. She's a little much. She's very aggressive and very much to me, and I can't be around a lot of people who do too much like that, because what it is you're not secure. You're not secure in this relationship. It's a new relationship, but you don't own that man. He didn't put nothing on your finger. You don't own him. I mean, you can't control what he does, and you can't go around fighting everybody in the world because you think that's your problem. Like, I don't like people like that. That bothers me. Yeah, I don't like people like that. So anyway, that happened. And yeah, that was pretty much it. That's about all that I remember. Oh, Charmaine's birthday. Ciao. Charmaine's birthday. So they do this, back in the day, 70s retro look. You got some afros flowing. You got the psychedelic shirts. You got the bell bottoms and tight pants. You got Donna dashiki. Everything was flowing. It was nice. It was cool. Danielle made it back in time to come to the party or whatever. And Charmaine made it a point to say to Danielle, "Look, I know you're upset with Ryan right now, but this is my birthday. I really don't want to have any of that 9mag drama on my birthday, for my birthday, at my party," or whatever. It was as if Danielle didn't hear anything Charmaine said and did not give any fucks about it being Charmaine's birthday. Like, one ear out the other. The second everybody got together and sat down and Ryan came over, Danielle was on it. Like somebody paid her to say it. Like she was dared to say it, and she was trying to prove her point. So she's gonna ask Ryan, "So Ryan, how you doing? How's the shop doing?" No. How's the shop doing? Even though it's falling apart. Even though I hear that it's falling apart. Oh, I just want you to know that everybody feels the same way that I feel. I'm just the only one telling you to your face. Now, mind you, all of this is because he don't want your ratchet, drunk ass boyfriend to come around him. Would you want to be around another female who tried to fight you over your like? Why would you even be upset about that? Terrence can't come. I don't like Terrence. It's my shit, my party that I'm throwing for all of y'all. I don't have to throw a 4-year anniversary party with all of y'all included. I could do my own separate shit. But I threw one and invited you guys there, allowed you guys to be a part of it, and all I ask is that nigga don't come. But I guess it don't matter. Y'all ain't putting up no money to pay for this party. I can't. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. So Danielle goes all the way in. And let me ask you a question. Why was Rachel standing on the sideline and they have nothing to say? I'm sorry. I've been married for 10 years. And there is not another woman besides his mother and maybe his sisters that can talk to my man, my husband, in any kind of way like that. We automatically have a problem. Period. If it sounds like you raising your voice to my man, I have to get forward, make sure you can see that I'm here, because you're disrespecting me by talking to him like that, and I'm here. Are you crazy? Like, you don't, where do you think? That's bold. That's really bold. And I know that's really bold. Really bold. So it was just a whole bunch about this episode that just really didn't make any sense to me. And I'm just trying to figure out if, like, is this for the show, or are they really like this in real life? Like, if I was to pop up at their shop and try to get a tattoo by one of them, is that what they do on a regular basis? That's how they act on a regular basis? Charmaine just be twerking in the middle of the floor on a regular basis? I'm curious. And so the show ended with, again, Ryan, Cobra, and Junior coming in from the Philadelphia the convention center thing, and Cobra and Charmaine cutting up, acting like they're gonna fight or whatever, and Ryan still trying to get somebody to answer the question as to why is Danielle and Van in his shop. And then while everybody's arguing and fussing and crying and complaining and whining, in comes Kat. And nobody was here for it because they was all in the middle of their own argument. So now we got the preview for next episode, and just remember what I said about Nikki, because this next episode is ridiculous. Hopefully it's entertainment, but she did a lot. Alright, y'all, bye.